Symbio vás opět zdraví z německého Frankfurtu, kde se, jak již každoročně koná SightCity, největší výstava pomůcek pro nevidomé a zrakové postižené. Teďka se chystáme na schůzku s společností ViewPlus, která vyrábí braillské tiskárny. Určitě jste slyšeli nebo znáte M-Braille, Delta, Spotdot a tak dále. My tyhle tiskárny na českém trhu dodáváme už poměrně dlouhou dobu a jsme zvědaví, co si pro nás letos ve ViewPlusu představili. Určitě nás bude zajímat, jestli vyjde nová verze překládacího softwaru Tiger Software Suite. Uvidíme, jestli se něco událo i na poli hardwaru a celkově si myslím, že by to mohlo být velmi zajímavé. Takže určitě nás sledujte. Krátké video z tohohle rozhovoru bude samozřejmě opět k dispozici spolu s následným shrnutím a komentářem od nás. Okay, so I'm here in the ViewPlus booth with Danem Gardnerem from the ViewPlus Technologies, and I'm pretty happy to be here after 1 year on SightCity again. So, Dan, can you tell us something about the news in ViewPlus, what's going on, and what are the plans, and so on?
Well, sure. Thanks. Yeah, well, we've been having a lot of fun at ViewPlus with introducing the concept of color, which started off a few years ago, like when we couldn't go to SightCity with COVID, but thinking about how to make things more inclusive, and the first questions were, why? But then the more we played with it, the more we showed people things like this, the color wheel, where we're representing the colors with textures that then helps to automatically bring color to a picture. So if a graph or a map references a certain color region, then the pattern can be automatically laid down and doesn't have to go through anybody else. So again, trying to be more inclusive. And really that launched our other example, which is now we have 4 coloring book volumes. This one here, the Winter Holidays one, but we just released the summer one. And we've done a Wild Animals one, but again, it has the text, the braille, and the tactile graphic, so that people of all capabilities
can I touch it?
Yes, so that people of all visual capabilities can color together. So that's the cover. So it's got some stuff on it. If you open the first page,
yeah, so you can touch it, you can see it.
Yep, and we have braille labeled crayons as well, so then you can feel the color where the wax where you've colored, and it's gone through about 2 years worth of testing. And so, and now especially we just relaunched the summer one. So for a lot of the summer camps, someone just ordered a bunch, like 50 coloring books from the webpage. And really the cool thing is, it's like even if you color it in, you could still take a picture of that and print it on your spot dot and overlay the textures automatically. So you could then see what was colored if you can't see.
That's a miracle.
Yeah. So that's where we're standing in front of the spot dot. So really the spot dot's still the same printer, but with those color textures, I'm finding a lot of the old examples that were just with dot height didn't provide enough contrast. So if I don't know if you've used like the one of the sun, there's a structure of the sun example that we have on our website for the spot dot, and it was orange and yellow and light red. It was hard to feel the regions, but when you turn on the textures, I get very different textures for yellow versus orange versus red, so I can really tell the difference instead of just dot height, but actually by the texture.
So all the spot dot owners can use this new feature?
Yeah, that's part of TSS 8. TSS 8 includes that, and the other nice thing is if you don't like art chosen patterns, you can make your own. There's a graphical interface. It's also an ASCII DOS text interface so that blind techies can make their own patterns as well. So we had someone making frogs and roses things that they didn't like our bricks and things. So we try to make everything as inclusive as we possibly can.
Great. Good job.
And part of that is that we've been struggling to keep up with the demand. So, because we do the spot dot, we never actually did the coloring books. The coloring books we're actually producing on our Delta and or our Rogue sheet, because we're pre-printing on our laser printer because it's really fast and cheap.
Of course.
And then we're running them through the Delta most of the time, but the Rogue works as well. The Rogue's about twice as fast, but we were thinking we wanted the round dots for the books, since they're books. So, and they are very simple graphics, so they weren't as technical as the Rogue really requires to see a big difference. But we've been using both interchangeably. But the Delta, the Rogue, we've actually been experimenting a lot with a new printer driver option called layer separation, as well as really tightening for fine drawings, so that for really detailed diagrams, I have an Eiffel Tower over here. You can really see that where the new technology of being able to do thin lines that are not right angles to each other can make a big difference. So the Rogue, I say, is our professional graphics. When you outgrow what you can do with the spot dot, which maybe never, but if you were really doing detailed drawings and very good tactilely, then the Rogue is that one that the next generation we keep improving what we can do with that.
Yeah, I have seen some pictures embossed on Rogue, and the graphic is really smooth, and it is nice to touch it, to feel it beneath the fingertips. So
yeah, and it removes a couple of the, if nothing else, it removes some of the things of like the stair step. In a slow rise line, you don't get a break in the line, or in a curve, it's a very smooth curve. And it can be, but in diagonal lines, especially when they're crossing over, they're thin lines instead of the double. It thickens them on the spot dot in order to hide the stair step. So you have a choice of stair step or thick line.
So with this layer separator, the picture can be even more accurate and
yes. Yeah. So I was showing in CSUN. I had somebody come up who had a Delta and really wanted to see, and so his art is online, and he was a drawing by SVG, hand drawn SVG of the Golden Gate Bridge, and so we printed his artwork from the web to the Rogue so he could see the difference of what it was. So that was good to actually, someone that could really feel the difference and really appreciated the difference.
Of course.
So very excited about
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But all of this color stuff and all of this inclusive stuff with the text and the words and the braille and the graphics and the two-pass process and the spot dot, they just weren't keeping up. And so that's where we've announced our new product, which is the Color Ink Connect, which goes onto the Elite 200, and that allows you to then mass produce inclusive documents.
Those on the big paper formats, right?
Yep. So we have Mickey Mouse and Tweety and Snow White and the Hot Air Balloon and Bart Simpson, and we can print out and hundreds of copies, right? I'd say if you've ever used the Elite 200, it runs really fast, and the ink adds almost no overhead. So like less than 10% type of overhead to add the ink. So you have our fastest embosser with now the capability of doing full color ink.
Very fast and very accurate.
Yes. Yes, and it's brand new. Yeah. So the accuracy of the ink is also fully redesigned, so it completely links up.
And what about compatibility? Which embossers are compatible with this new color ink?
It's originally, right now, it's the Elite 200 because we had to redo the complete firmware to make sure we have all the alignment, and so we're starting right now with just the Elite 200. We are keeping the old Ink Connect with the Premier 100 because that was the black ink version. That one's the less expensive one. So this is a $30,000 package. It's a brand new Elite 200 and then a Color Ink Connect. So we want to make sure that everything works for a production environment. So everything's brand new. we will look at how we could do upgrades or other types of things as we move along. So we did develop this technology, so now we own all of the color mixing, and then we had to learn a lot. And we hired some really good outsourced people, but we have all the codes. So we could potentially do this more, but we wanted to start with where we're seeing good success from small production with the Delta and the Rogue Sheet or the Spot Dot. But where we're struggling is to replace the big volume. And so that's where we wanted to start with and make sure that it works really, really well. And then we can see, but it's never going to be cheap, right? Ink, 2-pass ink is much more affordable, right? Look at the Spot Dot versus the Rogue, right? I mean, you have like 4 times the tactile performance and and half the price.
Of course, of course.
So
one more thing I wanted to ask you. TSS, it is very popular among Czech users.
Okay.
Because of the integration into the Word, Microsoft Word, I mean.
And Excel.
And Excel, yeah. Now we have the version 8 available. It is for free with all the embossers.
Yes.
What about the plans for the TSS? Is there any new version you would like to release, for example, this year?
Yes, we are looking at a TSS 9 later this summer. We want to get it out, normally we want to get it out in August so that teachers have a chance to learn before school starts in September for us. So we're working on that. We have some exciting stuff in there, and some new there's some new editions of LibLouis, and so yes, there'll be a refreshed version of TSS 9 this summer, and we'll see what all goes in there. There's a lot of things we're on our experimental branch that we're playing with, and so we'll see which things work well enough. But yeah, TSS 9, we're going to continue to revise and improve TSS until someone else starts doing tactographics and Braille and everything integrated, since nobody still does.
And what about Tiger Designer? Are there any changes planned for this application?
That's part of TSS 9.
Of course.
Yeah, so there'll be a Tiger Designer 9. Yes, and so again, focus on Rogue. We're looking at how we can do even more to show and draw the variable dot placement and the tight dots. And so we're working on an object-based drawing thing, which again will be much more potentially accessible to all users.
Even for a blind user?
Yeah, that's the idea, is that at least if you have an object, you can find the object and you can change the object by a text box, by a dialog box.
Wow.
And so we're wanting to explore more as we work on accessible drawing tools so that blind users can use, edit, and create their own.
I will surely try it when it is available.
So yeah, my dad's waiting too.
I believe so.
So yeah, so we've had good success right now with really optimizing the Rogue graphics capabilities in the new Tiger Designer 9, which was the focus.
Okay, and at the end, tell me shortly, are there any plans for the future, not distant future, in ViewPlus?
Well, we've
Anything else you didn't mention?
We spoiled it because the Color Ink Connect is the pre-announcement, right? We're showing it here, but we're starting to work on building it. So that we'll be busy with that at TSS 9. So I don't have anything else new. I have a lot of ideas, but so always open to hearing from, especially blind techie users, as to what we could do to help them, compete better at school and in career, have entrepreneurial ideas, all those things. We want to support the blind techie community.
Yeah, so you are open for the suggestions from the blind techie community?
Yep.
Yeah, and you are cooperating with them to search the best way how to do it, how to use these features.
Yes. Yeah, and we're part of the National Science Foundation Convergence Accelerator program is ViewPlus is a sub-partner, is a sub-awardee of that, and so we will be over the next 3 years working on building a double-sided marketplace and community to bring together graphic designers and blind users to both utilize but also create and sell content, and so hopefully that will open up business opportunities inside that, or at least open up opportunities to get less expensive, faster access to all graphics.
I guess it could be pretty attractive, especially among young blind people. What do you think?
It's both. I mean, we're seeing, my favorite ones, there's the New York Public Library. There's an accessibility project there where they actually have a workshop and teach other blind users how to hand code SVG, how to make their own graphics. And they're using heavily our Delta printer. So yeah, I like, I think it's not as, I don't think it's, I mean, my dad's now 80 something, I shouldn't say it on video, but he's older.
That's okay.
And he's still writing code and doing things. So I think it's of all ages. It's just, are you interested in continuing to grow and learn new things?
Not depends on age if you are interested in
correct.
Creative and so on. Yeah.
I don't want to be have ageism, right?
Yeah. So it was very great presentation from you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And we are looking forward to see you again and all the new features and products as well.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, follow them on YouTube and follow ViewPlus on YouTube.
Okay. And Symbio company as well, of course.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, and we wish you many success at your work.
Yes, well, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Hlásíme se vám opět z Frankfurtu, ze SightCity 2024, největší výstavy kompenzačních pomůcek pro nevidomé a zrakově postižené. A momentálně máme za sebou schůzku s ViewPlusem, se společností ViewPlus. Konkrétně jsme hovořili s panem Danem Gardnerem, který nám pohovořil něco o novinkách, které nás u ViewPlusu čekají, respektive které se pomalu chystají na trh. Co se těch novinek týče, letos v srpnu se můžeme těšit na nové TSS, tedy Tiger Software Suite, překládací software, který vlastně překládá text, respektive dokument do Braillova písma. V téhle nové verzi s pořadovým číslem 9 tak nás čekají samozřejmě nějaké novinky. Jednak byly aktualizovány brailleské tabulky, byla také zvýšená rychlost překladu a samozřejmě je tu opět kladen velký důraz na taktilní, tedy hmatovou grafiku. ViewPlus si na tomhle hodně zakládá, že vlastně i nevidomým uživatelům tiskárny právě tuhle grafiku zpřístupňují a umožňují v uvozovkách vidět. Takže v téhle oblasti taktilní grafiky se snaží pořád ten software posouvat a vylepšovat a můžeme se na to velmi těšit, protože ta grafika je zase o hodný kus dál. Viděli jsme tam i nějaké nové obrázky, zase to vypadá lépe. I tedy na hmat to působí moc pěkně. Ukázky uvidíte na videu ze záznamu tohohle rozhovoru. Jinak, co se týče nových zařízení, tak ViewPlus vytvořil barevný InConnect, což je vlastně zařízení, které umožňuje tisknout inghost. Tohle zařízení umožňuje inghostový tisk, kdy vlastně se připojí k brailleské tiskárně, nejprve projde tímhletím zařízením ten dokument, vytiskne se v černotisku a následně ten samý papír putuje do brailleské tiskárny, ve které se vytiskne i ta braillská varianta toho dokumentu, respektive obrázku. Tohle zařízení je kompatibilní s tiskárnou Premiere 200 a tím pádem je primárně určeno pro velké počty kopií a dokumentů, které tiskne rychle a na rozdíl od předchozí verze i barevně. Takže tohle je určitě velká novinka. Jinak k dispozici jsou i nové ovladače pro tiskárny Rogue, které vlastně díky těm ovladačům umožňují taky lépe tisknout vlastně tu taktilní grafiku. Je tam nová funkce, která se nazývá oddělovač vrstev a v podstatě to znamená to, že máte zase daleko větší kontrolu nad tím, jak budou hmatově vypadat grafické objekty na papíře. Tedy můžu si zvolit jednotlivé vrstvy, jakou bude mít ta vrstva hmatovou podobu na základě té podoby vizuální. Takže je poměrně zajímavá funkce. Časem se možná dostane i do jiných tiskáren, zatím tedy bude přístupná v tiskárně Rogue, která vlastně umožňuje velmi pokročilý tisk brailleské grafiky a braillského textu. Co se týče plánů do budoucna, tam v podstatě největší projekt, který je na obzoru, je to, že ViewPlus se snaží o to, aby tu hmatovou grafiku mohl dělat i nevidomý uživatel, protože zatím je to tak, že obrázky, aby bylo možné je rozlišit pohodlně, tak se musí upravit v aplikaci Tiger Designer, která je součástí vlastně Tiger Software Suite, ale bohužel bez zrakové kontroly zatím tohle není možné. Takže ViewPlus se teď soustředí na to, aby tahle funkcionalita byla zpřístupněná i nevidomým uživatelům. Je vlastně v úzkém kontaktu s komunitou nevidomých nadšenců, kteří se na tomhle podílí. Zatím je ta technologie pořád ve vývoji, uvidíme, kdy spatří světlo světa, nicméně pokud se tak opravdu stane, což je samozřejmě pravděpodobné, protože ViewPlus na tom pracuje velmi usilovně, tak se můžeme těšit i na to, co jsme si doposud nedokázali ani představit, tedy to, že nevědomý člověk si sám bude moct upravit a následně vytisknout obrázek v hmatové grafice. Já osobně, vzhledem k tomu, že nevidím od narození, tak se na tohle velmi těším a myslím si, že všichni z nás jsme z toho nadšení. Čili tohle jsou novinky od ViewPlusu. My vás moc zdravíme, sledujte nás a u dalšího videa se budeme těšit brzy naslyšenou.